When was the last time you were fully present in your own life? Not mentally rehearsing a future that hasn't arrived, not replaying a season that felt more productive, not measuring your life against someone else's highlight reel, just here, in this moment, in this season, as the person you actually are right now. When the enemy wants to attack your joy, he keeps you perpetually somewhere else, so you never fully inhabit the life God has given you today. And it works in two directions. The first is backward. It sounds like I was more disciplined then. I had it more together in that season. The second is forward. And that sounds like, well, once I get there, then I'll finally be enough. Both directions have the same effect. Joy becomes something you're always just about to reach, always conditional, always dependent on becoming someone you currently are not. But here's what scripture makes clear. Joy is not a feeling you wait to feel. It is a command. Rejoice in the Lord always. I will say it again, rejoice. Paul wrote those words from prison, not from a breakthrough, not from the other side of an answered prayer, but from a cell. The repetition is intentional. Rejoice and then rejoice again. Because Paul understood something about joy that we often miss. It's not a reward for favorable circumstances. It is a weapon you wield in the middle of unfavorable ones. We see this throughout the Psalms. The psalmists don't pretend the pain isn't real. They lament honestly, sometimes desperately. But again and again, they fight their way back to praise. Joy in Scripture is not the absence of grief. It is what you actively pursue even when grief is present. It is a discipline, a posture, a fruit, a choice made in the dark. And Nehemiah 8:10 tells us why it matters so much. The joy of the Lord is your strength. When you are genuinely joyful, not dependent on circumstances, not waiting on arrival, you are strong, resilient, hard to move. And a person who is hard to move is hard to defeat. The enemy knows this, so he keeps you so focused on who you're not yet that you never experience the joy of who and where you already are. He makes joy feel like a destination instead of a weapon already in your hands. So here's what I want you to sit with today. Joy and longing can coexist. You are allowed to want what you don't yet have. You are allowed to grieve the gap. But God is not waiting for you to arrive before he delights in you, because he already does. And the joy that comes from that truth isn't something you work up. It's something you receive and then you wield. So I want you to think about a few things. Which direction does the enemy pull you most? Backward into a past season or forward into a future version of yourself? Where in your life have you been treating joy as a destination rather than a weapon? I want you to sit with Philippians 4:4. What would it look like to rejoice right now in this season? Not because circumstances have changed, but because God hasn't.